Paul Walker here, 80 years young, and I want to share a story with you, my dear friend. Sit down, get cozy, maybe pour yourself a cup of tea or something stronger if you're feeling adventurous. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to surprise you, tickle your funny bone, and maybe even give you a little spark in, well, let's just say your love life after 60. Now, before you raise that eyebrow, hear me out. I've spent 8 decades stumbling, learning, laughing, and sometimes crying. Through it all, I've discovered secrets, sometimes simple, sometimes ridiculously obvious, that can change the way we age, both in body and spirit. And one of those secrets? Vegetables. Yes, you heard me right. Vegetables. Not pills, not potions, not some mysterious, expensive elixir. Just humble, leafy, crunchy, delicious vegetables that surprisingly can boost circulation, vitality, and even intimacy. I remember one morning, a few years ago, sitting at my kitchen table, staring at a sad little plate of wilted lettuce. I felt like my energy and, frankly, my mojo was disappearing faster than my hairline did back in the 70s. That's when my doctor, bless her soul, told me, "Paul, circulation is key, and certain vegetables will keep you running, and not just to the bathroom, if you catch my drift." I laughed, of course, but inside, I knew she was onto something. And that was the moment my journey began. One colorful, crunchy, life-affirming vegetable at a time. Number 1, beets. Ruby red gems of vitality. Ah, beets. Beautiful, ruby red, like little gems of vitality. I'll admit, I used to avoid them. Thought they were just earthy-tasting dirt on a plate. But once I learned they improved blood flow, and I mean everywhere, I was hooked. I started adding them to salads, soups, even smoothies. The first week, I felt different, energized, lighter. And yes, things downstairs seemed to notice too. I remember blending a beet smoothie one morning, fully committed, when my neighbor peeked in and said, "Paul, that looks intense." I winked and said, "It's the secret of the 80-year-old playboy." We both laughed, but deep down, I knew she wasn't entirely wrong. Beets taught me more than just vitality. They reminded me that sometimes the things we overlook, the things that look boring or mundane, can actually hold magic. That's life in a nutshell, my friend. It's not the flashy things that give you strength. It's the humble, the patient, and the overlooked. One evening, I invited a few friends over for dinner. Nothing fancy, just laughter and good food. I served a beet salad, and by the end of the evening, one of my friends leaned over and said, "Paul, I feel amazing." And I couldn't help but smile. That's when I realized it wasn't just the beets. It was the care, the ritual, the joy of preparing something wholesome for someone you care about. And yes, my friend, that joy travels through your veins in more ways than one. I even experimented with roasted beets mixed with olive oil and a hint of rosemary. Let me tell you, one bite and it's like the whole world wakes up inside you. It's earthy, it's sweet, and it feels like life itself saying, "Hey, Paul, you're still alive and you still matter." Number 2, spinach. The leafy lifesaver. Spinach. Ah, spinach. Now, I know what you're thinking. "Paul, I've had spinach my whole life. What's so special?" Well, here's the thing. After 60, your body doesn't absorb nutrients like it used to. Spinach is packed with nitrates that improve blood flow and blood vessel health. And let me tell you, my friend, I've seen firsthand how a couple of cups of sautéed spinach can make your joints feel lighter, your steps quicker, and your heart, well, maybe a little more daring. I remember one morning, a few years ago, sitting at my kitchen table staring at a sad little plate of wilted lettuce. I felt like my energy and, frankly, my mojo was disappearing faster than my hairline did back in the 70s. That's when my doctor, bless her soul, told me, "Paul, circulation is key, and certain vegetables will keep you running, and not just to the bathroom, if you catch my drift." I laughed, of course, but inside, I knew she was onto something. And that was the moment my journey began, one colorful, crunchy, life-affirming vegetable at a time. Number 3, garlic, the pungent little powerhouse. Yes, garlic, that little bulb that makes vampires think twice. Garlic isn't just for pasta, my dear friend. It's been used for centuries to improve blood flow, reduce blood pressure, and keep the heart pumping strong. I've joked with my grandkids that I eat garlic so I can keep chasing after my memories, and occasionally other things that shouldn't be chased at my age. They laugh, but deep down they know Grandpa's onto something. Let me tell you a story. One Saturday, I decided to make garlic soup for the neighborhood lunch gathering. By the time everyone arrived, the aroma was so strong that one of the ladies waved her hand and said, "Paul, I can smell this 3 blocks away." I laughed and said, "That's the power of circulation." Everyone chuckled, and by the end of the meal, people were moving, laughing, and sharing stories like old friends again. Garlic, my friend, is not just about flavor. It's about life, connection, and a little spark that reminds you you're alive. By the end of that month, I noticed something remarkable. My mornings felt lighter, my walks longer, my laughter louder, and yes, sometimes a cheeky little wink across the room would make me grin. Garlic had reminded me that age doesn't define desire, energy, or joy. You can still feel vibrant, and you can still spark life in ways you thought were behind you. 4. Ginger, the spicy little trickster. Ah, ginger. That fiery little root that sneaks into life and wakes things up. Not only does it help with circulation, but it's fantastic for reducing inflammation, keeping your joints moving, and giving your days a little extra spark. I remember the first time I brewed fresh ginger tea. The steam swirled around me, and suddenly my entire kitchen felt alive. I took a sip and felt warmth travel from my toes all the way up to my heart. It was like my body was whispering, "Ah, yes, we're still in business." One morning, I invited my neighbor Clara over for tea. She walked in, caught a whiff, and said, "Paul, are you trying to set the kitchen on fire?" I chuckled and replied, "No, my dear, I'm just waking up the circulation and a few memories too." She laughed, and we spent hours talking, swapping stories from decades past, and sharing little secrets about life, love, and laughter. That day, Ginger reminded me that life is meant to be spicy, full of laughter, and yes, even a little mischievous at times. Ginger taught me patience, too. You see, it takes time for your body to adjust, to feel the subtle benefits, just like life. You can't rush joy, love, or vitality. You have to nurture it, season it with care, and sometimes let a little heat in to keep things lively. At 80, a little heat is never a bad thing, I assure you. One of my favorite ginger stories happened at a community cooking class. I was teaching some seniors how to make ginger-infused dishes. The room filled with laughter, some chaos, and ginger bits flying everywhere. Mrs. Thompson accidentally sneezed while grating, sending shreds of ginger into the air. We all laughed until our stomachs hurt. But by the end of the class, everyone was glowing, not just from the warmth of the root, but from the joy of connection, of trying something new, of embracing life fully. Ginger, my friend, is a gentle reminder that vitality isn't just physical, it's emotional, social, and sometimes spicy. Another time, I experimented with ginger in a smoothie with beets and spinach. I called it my wake-up potion. Let me tell you, one sip and I was ready to tackle the day, talk to my neighbors, dance with my memories, and even attempt a bit of mischief. Ginger reminded me that it's never too late to experiment, to laugh at yourself, and to keep life vibrant, even if your knees creak a little. Now, let me be honest with you. Life isn't just about the food we eat. These vegetables, beets, spinach, garlic, ginger, bell peppers, have been allies. But the real magic comes from how we live, laugh, and connect. At 80, I've learned that vitality is not a secret hidden in a pill or a potion. It's in the choices we make every day, in the energy we bring to our routines, and in the care we give to ourselves and others. I've discovered that intimacy, energy, and joy don't vanish with age. They just change. They evolve. And sometimes all it takes is a little beet in your salad, a pinch of garlic in your soup, or a sip of ginger tea to remind you life is alive, and so are you. Age does not define desire, curiosity, or laughter. You can still embrace new experiences, share stories, and make memories that matter. Another lesson: don't underestimate humor. I've burned spinach, added too much garlic, and made ginger tea that could double as a cleaning agent. And each time, I laughed. I laughed with neighbors, friends, and sometimes at myself. Humor keeps the spirit youthful, and at 80, I can tell you it's as vital as any vegetable. I also want to encourage you to engage with your community. Invite friends for meals, share your favorite dishes, or even teach a class like I did. The joy of shared experiences amplifies the benefits of healthy eating, and it reminds us that life's true vitality comes from connection, laughter, and love. If you're enjoying these stories, leave a comment below, share your favorite vegetable moment, or tell me about a memory that made you feel alive. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because there's so much more life, laughter, and wisdom to share, and I want you there for every single bit of it.